Next is from Brock Miles and some of his Goldberg bumps. Hello, Stevie Richards started a YouTube channel where he breaks down wrestling moves and bumps. Last week he broke down the Goldberg spear. 4 minutes in, Richards does a slow-mo replay of Goldberg diving headfirst into the ground. Richards says that Goldberg had no regard for his own safety and that he doesn't know how Goldberg never broke his arm or neck. Do you agree with Stevie, and how rough were those spears to take? Thank you, that's from Brock. Bro, Goldberg concussed himself giving Page a spear.
Chronic,
he would
too.
he would spike his head into the ground sometimes. Like,
yeah, bro. And plus, haven't you seen documentaries of him backstage banging his head against the wall?
He was a football player. He was like,
the time that he broke that glass, I was there.
The car window.
And through the car window. But Scott Hall just buried him on TV, and
he got mad.
And so he got mad and he put it right. So he was very wound up, and like when you walk by Goldberg before his match, you could tell he was focusing in and getting intense and getting into his character like very few.
All right,
would be incorrect at that.
No, you're correct.
Right.
Okay, the next one's interesting, Joe. Do you have these pictures ready to put up?
Yeah. Although I had the Stevie video, I guess you don't want to watch that.
So next is from Hank Beanie. Subject is Andrade. Hey guys, a few months ago I asked you what you thought the next move for Andrade would be, and at that time Tony Khan suspended him and was sitting at home. Word was he was waiting for his contract to expire and sign back with WWE. Since then, he and his wife Charlotte Flair have separated and appear headed towards divorce. The move back to WWE is likely off the table. Andrade is still with AEW, but in his tenure, he has been a problem. It isn't a given that Tony Khan is going to re-sign him, and Andrade has also burned bridges with other promotions. He publicly buried AAA, and CMLL has him blacklisted. Seems his career may be in Tony Khan's hands at this point. So my question to you guys is, once again, what do you think Andrade's next move is? Thank you. Tony, you should answer this. I have no clue.
Well, I think he's been signed by Tony because we saw him on TV a couple weeks ago, or he's going to sign him. I guarantee you. And he's probably going to try to maybe reform La Facción Ingobernables. But I think he likes Andrade, and even with the trouble that there was between him and Sammy,
right.
He sees him as talent, and he hasn't really done it with him, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, next is from Tourist Wobbled. And the subject is, let him go! The latest in the dirt sheets is that Bill Goldberg is going to debut at All in 2023, and the person he's going to crush his debut, Wardlow. Goldberg coming into AEW will clearly be bringing new eyes to the company at a time when they really, really need to. But if this is what they have planned for Wardlow, then there's no other way to see it other than Wardlow clearly has nuclear backstage heat. I mean, remember when they had him hit CM Punk with his finisher 8 times in a row, and then Punk instantly rolled him up for the pinfall win? Then that stupid the TNT title and Samoa Joe, they're burying him on purpose. So guys, why do you think he's being buried, and why in the name of Jennifer Lopez won't they release him? Well, I mean, Wardlow is their biggest botch. Okay, because like everybody was watching, this guy was rising to be a big star, and as soon as he beat MJF, it's just been they haven't had any clue what to do with him. And I wonder if he does have heat. Cody, he's been very professional with you. Like you get along with him and everything. Yeah. Does he come across as a guy that could possibly have that backstage heat?
No, but he's got heat, and it's probably over jealousy. Maybe that's what I'm thinking, because he's not disrespectful. He's not cocky. Yeah, somebody's jealous of his push. Really? He ain't ready, or whatever.
Have you heard whispers? Have you heard whispers? Yes.
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that's good. That's hot news then. All right. Yeah, because honestly, you look at the guy's $1 million. Like he should but right now he should be like one of their biggest stars, or like have a belt, or like be on the championship level for sure. So.
Right, and I think he knows it because Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't he been selling it on social media somewhere?
I haven't seen
like
that.
Little hints.
Yeah, let me see here.
Okay, yeah. Well,
little hints that he has heat.
Yeah, or that they're not using him right. That they're not
using him right.
Right. Like, but a lot of people won't. A lot of people are afraid to even say anything because
he has a win-loss.
Yeah. Go
He
ahead.
should have the win-loss record that Orange Cassidy has. Like he should be beating all these guys. Like they had the little guys on their show doing the Wardlow streak. You know, so I don't know. Next is from
This is just Wardlow recently said because he was on the debut of Collision, and it says he hasn't made an appearance since. He said, "I've been off TV for this was at a live Q&A thing. I've been on TV for a couple of months, and I've been very depressed. Wrestling is my everything. It makes me happy. It was a rough start for me on Collision. I do not know when I'll be back, hopefully soon. Today, I feel like me again for the first time in months. I just want to thank you guys for coming out, blah, blah, blah." So, obviously, he said stuff like that not being on the show and being used is making him miserable.
Well, he's depressed. Something's going on. If you know you're getting a push, if you know you have a program, you're not depressed. So something's going on.
Who could be jealous? Who would be jealous of a guy like this, though?
Who knows, bro? I mean, they're very petty.
You do.
No, I don't. I don't know. I just heard that he might have heat, but I never heard who it was.
Next is from the Phenom 389X. Subject. Well, I'll tell you. Okay, I'm just going to go out on a limb. Okay.
Jericho.
No.
Right.
Who's the one guy? Who's the one guy that's pulling strings over there? If he's got heat with you.
Punk.
Yes.
6 letters. Yeah.
I mean, he's probably got heat with Punk. You know, I mean, I don't know why. You know, but I would.
Yeah,
that's just a guess.
He said I'm not going to be on Collision for a while. He didn't say Dynamite or the other one.
There you go. Who's Collision show? Punk show.
Yeah.
There it is.
Next is from the Phenom 389X. Subject is Tony Khan's comments on Sting. Bro, let's be perfectly honest too. Punk knows that if he and Wardlow have to cross paths in an angle again, he has to go under. Okay, 100%. Like there's no other. He can't beat this guy. Like if they have an angle with each other, Punk going over this guy again does absolutely nothing for anybody. Punk would have know if this guy's on the roster, we're on a path. I have to do a job for this guy. Just throwing it out there. The next is from the Phenom 389X.
No, I agree with you because this guy has been as over as anybody they've ever had in their 4-year thing. Okay, they had a chance to really make him and make a really hot star, and now they're trying to repush him again.
Are they?
Should not be doing jobs.
They're not trying to repush him though. He's not on TV.
Yeah,
they're doing nothing. They're doing nothing with them. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You're right.
Next from the Phenom 389X. Subject is Tony Khan's comments on Sting's AEW career. Did you hear this, Conan? Oh my God. Tony Khan recently did an interview and had this to say about Sting's career in AEW. When you talk about some of the biggest names in pro wrestling, for me it starts and ends with Sting. He's one of the all-time legends. He's one of my all-time favorites. Sting is still a huge part of AEW. And one of the greatest things we accomplished was bringing Sting out of retirement. He is still wrestling to this day. He's undefeated in AEW. In fact, and he's on the greatest run of his career right now in AEW. I know Tony is trying to put over the company, but the greatest run of his career, when you look back at all the big matches and achievements from his career in NWA, WCW, and TNA, how can this AEW career possibly be greater? Might be better than his WWE career, but that's as far as it goes. I'd like to get your thoughts on this because that's a pretty bizarre claim. Thank you for your time. Bro, Tony makes wild claims. He's a promoter, so it's like he's going to start. You know, he's trying to put this over, but nobody, like literally, not one person would agree that this is the greatest run of his career. Not one. You can't find one person.
I think Tony's perception, and this will be YouTube. Joe's defending AEW again. Tony's perception probably is that in Sting's matches in AEW, they've tried to make them very memorable, and Sting's done crazy he didn't do anywhere else. So he's looking at it like that. Well, look at all the effort he's putting out. He's doing this. He's doing these big spots, blah, blah, blah. This is why it's the most memorable. That's just my assumption, though.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. But when you're making, can you heat it up? When you're making comments like that, where you're obviously, you lose a lot of credibility because even though you believe it, somebody's got to tell you, hey, maybe he doesn't even check with anybody. Right. I don't think that's the best comment to make because, bro, I saw this thing, and I agree with everything Joe said, but that's nothing to the popularity and the way he was used when he was Surfer Sting with the blonde hair. Remember that one?
Right.
Disco?
Yeah.
How hot was that guy?
Yeah.
Super
Plus
hot.
his match with Hogan that was built for a year and a half.
Bro, when he was Crow in the NWO,
Yeah.
bro, he was the man. When he was in the Wolf Pack, we were hot as. Yeah.
Yeah.